good afternoon, good evening, dead of night, where you may be. You are listening to the Race 60 channel, and this is Grash with you for the free practice 3 for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Well, thank everyone here. Those of you who are on Twitch, those of you who are on YouTube right now, good crowd is already. I have been summoned by YouTube chat. 2-minute warning, a little bit, maybe a little bit more. F1 TV just started their broadcast. It's actually 4 minutes to the hour, 3.5 minutes to the hour. Quite honest. So again, the news coming out of yesterday, basically going into practice, was that one that Ferrari's keeping their principal, and then Max is staying at Red Bull. And then during practice, we had Max go out on track and then out of nowhere pull a towel, blanket, whatever you want to call it, and then basically pulled it out from the side of where he was and threw it onto track. This ends up being decision document 1315. And basically they've ruled it as alleged unsafe release. Yeah, shortly after the car was released from this garage, driver 1 was observed to have thrown a towel out of the cockpit. Later, while in the garage, the face towel had slipped from his lap to the side of the seat. The team was unaware that it remained in the cockpit. When the driver realized it was there, he moved it to the far right of the track and attempted to throw it as away from the car as possible. Mac, he threw a towel. And it was a very, very white towel, and it was very F1 TV had fun showing it on track and then showing the replay of him, Max, throwing it on track. Max only got a warning out of this, and that's the only decision document that we have to deal with, honestly. Just looking here, that's the only thing that has come up in terms of penalties and other infractions. The only other document that's of note would be document number 9, replacement driver for FP1. That's again putting Drogovic into Fernando's car while Fernando was out in FP1. Get director notes. Just bring that up pretty quickly. Just jump down. So there's been changes to the circuit. There's been resurfaced main straight, change the grass strip, exit turn 5 to a gravel strip, new concrete plates at the fences at turn 14 left-hand side until the bridge, resurfaced the pit lane, and then alignment of the white line and added a blue line at the end of exit turn 7. Now these are changes to the circuit. The facilities have been massively upgraded. In fact, basically after last year's race, they basically tore down. No, it's not fine to predict crashes. Yeah, well, who's predicting crashes? I'm not looking at chat at the moment. Yeah, that's gross to predict crashes. Yeah, but one of the things is that the facilities around the pit, the garages themselves, and other facilities in that area have all been rebuilt in the past year. F1 guy says that someone will DNF. He doesn't say they're crashing, and then He's like Lando, both Red Bulls and both Aston Martins. That's a crazy prediction as it is, but he's not saying they're going to crash outright. There's other ways to DNF. Why not? I can predict the crash. Now he's saying he's predicting crashes. Okay. Yeah, no, you put you in timeout. Uh, Practice has started about a minute already right now, and Lando, I believe this is Lando coming out of the garage. See the number. Hamilton not in the. He's with Mackie right now, talking with him. He's not in the garage just yet. He's in the back of the garage. So Hamilton's not ready in the car just yet. And we've got now Norris, Oscar, Alonso Stroll coming out of the garage. So FP3 has started. It'll be a few minutes before we get any actual times on the board. It's interesting that the McLarens have come out on hard tires and the Aston Martins have come out on medium tires. Now they could be scrubbing tires, so could be, and that's something that Aston Martin does on a regular basis. They'll scrub a medium and a hard set of tires. That basically means they go send them out of the pits and come right back into the pits, and that counts as a lap on those tires. And in the end, the theory behind it is that if you scrub the tire, you can get it faster to its operating range by getting the shine off of it. Guys, bananas. Oh, the Mario Kart memes have been amazing this past 24 hours with Max. And Norris is coming into the pits right away. So, uh, does he have something on his car? Take a look right now. They bring him in. Are they just changing tires? I think they're going to bring him back into the garage. So they've scrubbed. So McLaren has scrubbed a pair of hard tires on Lando's side. I want to thank hi to Varel, Sam Ackerman, Ali Wren over in Twitch chat. I want to thank Mackie, Paula, Shay. Who else? Who else is here? These are the people in green. They've thrown a few bucks each month to help support the channel. And Oscar's coming to the pits. Well, Stroll and Alonso. So basically, Aston Martin and McLaren have scrubbed tires. Are they going to send them out again with a new set of tires? I don't think so. Again, FP3 is basically not representative of any not representative of quality or of sending Alonso back out on hard tires. So the Aston Martins are scrubbing now a set of hard tires of what it looks like. And, this gives them a chance to basically do a pit stop practice. Just asking, is there any problem with Lewis Hamilton's car? Yeah, Lewis is not in it. He's talking to a Marvel movie star. We're asking. Formal means, do you remember what he did on Abu Dhabi in 2021? I don't know who you're talking about. No, Lewis is not in the car. That's the problem. My God. You guys are saying some crazy stuff in chat at the moment. Uh, Colpino is coming out of the garage right now. Here comes Stroll Alonso taking their sweet time, coming around 13, 14 to the end of the line. And as predicted, they have scrubbed hard tires. Colpino's is the only one on track right now. He's on the soft tires. If you guys have any questions, you can at me at Grassreza. Put my name in the chat for you. Yeah. That will bring up my name and highlights. Make it easier to see your question in chat. Lou, Red Bull might be facing a Q1 exit today. Well, we'll see how we'll see with how FP3 goes. And Red Bull again has the reputation of having a bad Friday and having a decent Saturday. I have a question. What is your favorite food? Seafood, because I see it and I eat it. No. Right now it seems to be burgers. It's what I eat mostly a lot of lately. My bet burgers and sandwiches would be the best answer for right now. Not really cooking right now, so that doesn't help that answer. Calling people all purples, yeah, because he's the only one pushing. Not hard with the times that were put up on those installation laps / scrubbing laps. It's not hard for Colpino to get purples. Looks okay in terms of the times I'm seeing so far. We'll see how he finishes the lap. See what time he comes in. Here he comes to the line. Franco does a 1:18.005. I mean, we saw 17s and 16s and 15s on soft tires, so this is not exactly a great time. Yeah. Not what do they want, but you'll take what you get. I mean, this could be him working on race pace, which is 118 is more akin to a race pace than to a quali pace or a quali lap, we should say. This is your 22nd race weekend. I have seen, but I think I know quite a lot. Oh, you're gonna still learn a lot more. Like who knew that throwing a towel onto track has ended up being an unsafe release penalty. Gasly now coming out onto track, and now Hulkenberg. So we've got about 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes now. And so far in this session, Aston Martins and McLarens have scrubbed tires, basically. Colpino is the only one who's done a flying lap, and now we've got Ocon and Hulkenberg on out laps now. Colpino's on a cool down lap right now and expected to maybe do a flying lap. Stroll coming back out onto the grid. Alanis, I think, is asking what's your favorite song. I assume that's for me. Um, in terms of rock songs, November Rain is one of my favorite songs. The ending of November Rain is just epic. Let's see what else. After that, it's a lot of rotating songs will rotate in out as favorites for a time. But what happened to Fernando's back? He laid down, took meds, probably a bit of a muscle relaxer on that back. Amazing what ibuprofen can do. Where I'm probably going with my back this morning, I'll probably be taking some ibuprofen after this session. Gasly on his flying lap. Hulkenberg on a flying lap right now. Colpino not. Oh, he's on a pit out. He went in pit while I was not looking. Stroll starting a flying lap. So we've got 3 people cooking right now. Five up predictions, double Sauber points. That's possible. Lawson points, Behrman points, double Ferrari podium, no points for Lando. No points for Lando would be disastrous. That assumes Oscar got points. And that would be disastrous for Lando. $10,000 between Pierre and Franco in first. Thank you for pointing that out. Stroll right now fastest for first and second sector. Hulkenberg has the fastest third sector. He's now P2. Gasly's P3. Becomes Stroll. Stroll's going to go to top board with 117.540. He's a half second faster than Colapino. Again, Hulkenberg Gasly did 118s and Stroll did a 117. We're about 15 minutes into the session, 45 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Stroll right now top with a 117.54. XSMD, what's your favorite thing about F1 or motorsports in general? It's the strategy, to be quite honest. As I got into F1 and I understood how things work and how things going on, particularly from 2020 onward, F1, particularly F1 and F1, the media for F1, taught me what I needed to know about what was going on during the race and what was happening. And I was able to roll that over into IndyCar and to a certain extent to NASCAR to a certain extent. Um, I'm barking a night wish on Varel. Varel's in Twitch chat just says he just put, I don't have one, some awesome songs, Night Wish, Wishmaster, 3 Days Grace, Everything I Hate About You, Tenacious D, Tribute. Volbeat has many songs to count. Um, I'm I liked Nightwish 20 years ago, but um, I don't know. The epic rock kind of, there's only so much you can take of that. So no, right now on a purple lap right now, Colpino started a lap, but he abandoned it. Soda goes 117.022, season low 117s, over half a second faster than Stroll's time. 518 is the exact gap. Fastest first and second sector. Hulkenberg still keeps that fastest third sector. It's not that Nightwish is not good. It's just you can grow out of them. You could they're again, like I enjoyed them 10, 15 years ago. I was enjoying them. I just not where I am personally. Them in the nuclear blast crowd. There's only so much you can, there's only so much I was just able to listen to. Um, and now we've got several on track. Max is on track. Stroll's still on track. Snow's on track. Lawson, Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Alonso. It's like Gasly and Lawson are on flying laps at the moment. No, Lawson's still not lap. Gasly is on a flying lap. Colpino, Borletto, Norris is on his way out. Isaac's on his way out. Hamilton, who's under pressure, losing after 20. It's too early to say that he's going to lose his seat. Yeah, that 2026. That's too far out. And the wild card in that is that there's a new regulation coming, and those cars are going to be more like the 2020-2021 car than it was these past 4 years. Snowed at top of the board again. Still top of the board. 117.022. Gasly goes P2, 117.082. So it's a gap of only 60 thousandths. Fastest third sector for him. Stroll right now on a flying lap. Fastest second sector. Stroll has been very good this weekend, very consistent this weekend, and that's what you want to see out of him is when he's been consistent. Max putting together a good lap right now. He's taking the fastest second sector. Stroll's gone to the top of the board. He's now sub 116, 116.871. So we're seeing some track evolution. Let's video. Do you feel that IndyCar needs to be more respectful like F1 or the other way around? No, it's the other way. No, it's the other way around actually. And it's mostly Max has gone to the top of the board with 116.547, 270 faster than Stroll. It's actually the other way around. It's more of the FIA. FIA doesn't respect IndyCar as they should, and that's how they assigned super license points to drivers in IndyCar. They treat it more like F3, which is insane. Yeah, in regards to like IndyCar and F1, they're very much the same in terms of like level of respect. You're not bumping. You're not in NASCAR you can bump. You can push cars out of the way. That's not the case in F1 or IndyCar. Hulkenberg gone P3, 116.830. Hamilton now P2, 116.759. That pushes Hulkenberg to fourth. Stroll to third. Alonso to seventh, 117.154. He's pushed down one by Barlow going P7, 117.099. He's 0.552 back from Max's time. So again, Red Bull had not a great day yesterday, but Max right now is top of the board, and he did that on a soft tire. Not bumps like that, but over the top moves is so common. But no, you've taken that in the wrong way. Very much. Antonelli's gone 6 with 117.050. In IndyCar, you're going to see more overtakes, period. It's not that they're making over the top moves, it's that they're making more moves, period. And that's, if you guys are looking for some fun races, go watch IndyCar. I think the last race wasn't so great, but you go back to Iowa. You get the super speedways and the short tracks, the ovals. Oval racing is fun. Yeah, there's no way to put it. Oval racing is fun. Very, very American style of track. You guys don't like ovals over in Europe. I've never really built ovals. And then you got variants of the ovals like the Rovals, which is basically an oval but with a bump out on one side. Right now, Russell's gone top of the board. Now Oscar's taking that from him. So Russell's time was 116.321. Oscar's was 116.240, a gap of 72 thousandths. Norris has gone P5, 429 behind his teammate. Oscar had the fastest second and third sector. Tsunoda still has the first sector time. Hamilton is 6th. His last lap was his best. Tsunoda is 9th. Antonelli is 10th. And Isaac was 15th right now. Like IndyCar, but not much exposure in Australia. Yeah, it's still IndyCar is still very much an American formula of a league in its own. One of the things that's just changed with IndyCar is that one of the major channels here in the United States is Fox Sports, Fox specifically. So they're affiliate of channels. So where in the UK you've got the BBC and you got Channel 4. Here in the United States, we have affiliates of stations, ABC, NBC, CBS. Fox are the big four in that regards. And Fox has Fox Sports, and Fox has basically bought a third of Penske Entertainment, which owns IndyCar, the Indianapolis 500, Indianapolis Speedway. And it's very much akin to what Liberty Media has done when they bought into F1. Except this time, you've got the media organization also being the broadcaster. Hey, everyone, this is Champ Car, my all-time favorite racing series. I mean, Champ Car basically is what IndyCar is now. And that's what they basically merged back. IRL and Champion merged back into IndyCar. It's been out 15, 20 years since the merger, but they're still now making a push forward. So You can thank F1 for raising the tide. All boats. When the tide rises, all boats rises. So F1 has raised the motorsport scene in the United States. Max back to the top of the board, 116.202. Oscar is P2, Russell is P3, Leclerc is P4, Norris is P4. So Norris is P5, Leclerc is P4. Hamilton is P6, Stroll 7th, Hulkenberg 8th, Noda 9th, Hilton 10th. And the only ones in the pits right now are Russell, Gasly, Alonso, and Colapino. Again, we've hit about 32:40 left in this session, so we've got about halfway through it right now. We're seeing Max at the top of the board. Again, he's on soft tires, so this is a good sign for Red Bull. Again, they have a bad Friday, good Saturday, as I've said before. Tech Max says, I'm here because F1 Gamer is lagging. Can't do anything about what he's up to. Who was aborted? Oh yeah, he just hit gravel. Or was that Leclerc just hit gravel? Yeah, that was Leclerc. Look at the wrong Ferrari. Leclerc is on a flying lap right now, fastest first and second sector, and then in the third sector hit some gravel and lost time. So he didn't improve in sector 3, but he's not now top of the board, 116.173. So these are more representative times. We could go a second faster, quite honest, but we will probably see that. Conditions for that will be in quality for that. Bordello just went P4 with 116.258. He's only one. Yeah, he's in the 116. He's a low 116. He's only 121 behind Leclerc. P1 through P5 are under 2/10, specifically 175 for Russell. We are P1 through P13 under 1 second. And then under 2 seconds down to Bierman, P18. And then Ocon and Sainz are 120, 2.1, 2.3 respectively. And nearly just jumped up to P6 behind his teammate, 116.524 to 387 gap. In your opinion, were some of us Ferrari fans a little crazy, angry about Vasseurs? Yeah, you are crazy if you're pissed about Vasseur getting renewed. You guys were pissed about in Canada that he was getting raked over the coals by media, and that caused issues. I mean, that literally both Leclerc and Hamilton had to come out in support of him. I don't know what the heck happened in Canada. I mean, like basically they got on the ground in Canada and they had a media firestorm to deal with. Like Bammer just abandoned his lap. He had rear locking, is what he's saying. Those of you who are coming here from another channel, well, thank you guys for coming here. We've been doing. Oh my God. How long have we been doing this? Yeah, we've been doing 46 months. I've been a member 46 months. I'm one of the first people to join the channel when we came over to raise the statistics. What means gap? Gap is basically uh, the change of time, is the difference in time from the lead driver to whoever it is. So for Hamilton, that's a 1.44 gap. It goes back to 2.56 gap. So gap means leader to whoever you were talking to. When we're talking about interval, that's the other one that you will see. It's not on here, but you'll see it in the race. You'll see an interval column instead, and that's the gap between the gap from the driver we're talking about and the person who's directly in front of them. Those are on Twitch right now. We just need 2 more follows to get 600 over there. That's a big achievement. We got a good number of people watching right now. Again, we got, oh God, how many people? 143, yeah, 143,000 subscribers over on YouTube right now and growing. Looking at right now. Yeah, Ferraris are looking fast. Hamilton just went P2, 116.015. Oscar's at the top of the board, 115.871. So I thought we would not get 115s this early. So you have what? How do you guys get the track picture and driver location? I'm gonna have to ask Ray Statistics specifically for that answer. I know we're using. I don't know exactly what we're using right now for the track picture at the moment. Everything else you're seeing though is from multi-viewer, like the driver transcript, top sector times the chart. That's multi-viewer that we're using right now. Pino just went 13th, Lawson is 15th, and then Bierman is 19th. Those are the only ones right now who have put in times. Gasly's about to finish a lap. He's going to go up to 9th with a 116.798. Norris going to go? No, he's not on a flying lap. Doesn't look like he's on a flying lap. Or is he? Hasn't done great in the first 2 sectors, improved in second, fastest in the third, improved in the fourth, but he's not improving in, so it's a 27.944. He's 4/10 off Leclerc's time already. We'll see if this is see what's going on. He is on used soft tires. Just hit 600 subscribers. Thank you for those over on Twitch. Trying to look right now at anyone who's on a flying lap at the moment. Isaac might be starting flying lap. We got under 25 minutes, specifically 24 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this session right now. You're listening to the Race Statistics channel. This is Grash with you live in this free practice 3. Again, after we're done with this session, again on YouTube, I'll be going off ear, and we'll be playing some music before we go off air. But for those of you who are on YouTube, you'll be brought to the quali stream, and then on Twitch, if you just stay here, when we come back, we'll be live. I know we're on other platforms. I believe we're on TikTok. I know we're on Facebook. Dark Mail pointing out that that everyone is trying to conserve tire succession. Hey, Dark, I don't think I said hello earlier to you. Another one of the people in green and YouTube chat who've joined on YouTube. If you guys like what we do, you can also support the channel by joining Discord as well as joining the Patreon. I can't spell Patreon this morning. It is just still 6:07 a.m. where I'm at. I'm in Central Time, USA. Again, this is the same time zone as Austin, Texas. I'm in the state of Texas as well, just a few hours north. Texas is pretty huge. I'm used to Rhode Island, which is just an hour across I-95. What does the blue sector means thing? So, Leah, what you're talking about the subsectors, and so when cars come in and out of the pits, those are going to be represented by the first two sectors in sector one coming out of the pits and going in the pits is going to be the three sectors. So Oscar, right now who's in the pits, the last three sectors represent him being in the pits. The other times that we should be aware, the other colors to be aware about, yellow means that they have not improved in their best time. Green means an improvement in that driver specific time in that sector or subsector. Purple means that they have gone the fastest in that subsector or sector. And if the lap is circled in pink, purple, like Oscar's, it means the fastest lap in that session. The other color you will see on the chart will be red, and that's if a driver stops. And we saw that yesterday with Aaron Paul. Alonso just went P9 with a 116.557. We've got green out there from Isaac Sainz in Ocon right now. Here comes Isaac. Isaac did not. He improves his time, but not his position. Ocon improves his position to 117.03. He's 1.1 back. Colpino Sainz right now. Colpino's on a cooldown lap. An out lap. Sainz is on a lap. What color was Paul? It was red. He stopped on track. So if someone has an accident, stops on track, you will see the subsectors ending up being red. Now, if he comes back to the pits and retires, those subsectors are going to be basically is going to be blue. Alonso Grote. Guys, stop with the goat stuff. There's only one goat, and his name is Tom Brady. All right, moving on. Who is anyone? We got Albin on a fly now. He's past Beerman and then Alonso on track as he goes through 12 through 14. Albin comes in and that was his best lap. He's 19. He's 1.1 off. So we are actually from P1 through P20. We're actually under 1.3, 1 second 3/10. Being told to push. He is on a flying lap. Yeah, I'm straight out. I'm just looking. So right now, Behrman is the only one on pushing right now. He was told to push by his engineer. He's not improving on his times though. They're good times. They're not. They're not. Well, that's a whole second. That's not good. So Behrman's coming to the line right now, and he's going to pit. So he's going to pit instead. Alonso pitting, Colpino, Alwyn pitting, Gasly coming around, Russell, Oscar, and Antonelli are the only four on track. Gasly coming to the end of his lap. He's on a cool down lap. He could be pitting. Yeah, he's slowing down. He's going to pit. So only three on track right now. We only got 17 and a half minutes left to go in this session. And again, this is normal to see most of the cars to be pitting at this moment. Hamilton coming out. So we're now setting up these cars for the last run of the day, the last program. Will this, I'm looking at, will the placement of the radio messages panel happen again in future races? Or will be like, I don't know about this place. I mean, I think the way that this is set up, we'll probably use in the future, Luigi. I know we were testing out a new layout for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And I actually really do like this layout with the driver's radio messages are here. I know, saying he's got understeer, back to the box. That again, Russell is pitted. We got Oscar, Hamilton, Norris, Sonoda, Stroll, and Hulkenberg now. Again, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Sonoda are now just coming out of the pits. Norris just did a few minutes, a moment ago. Same as Hamilton. Oscar right now, the only one off flying lap. He won right now, but he's improved in Sector 1, Sector 2, and fastest in Sector 1, Sector. He has the third sector time as well. See if he improves there as well. He is improving. Lost a little bit on that last curve, but still fastest third sector, so it's a full purple lap. And Oscar, the first one, the 114s, 114.9. Excuse me. So we are seeing lap times drop, which gives an indication there may be. Yeah, it's a whole second faster actually. That's a good call there. It's a 114. Hamilton next best time is a 116. So we've skipped the 115s altogether. Again, I want to thank everyone who's here in chat right now, watching or watching on other platforms such as TikTok or Facebook Live or after the fact. Again, this is we're under 15 minutes now, 14 minutes and 20 seconds specifically. Again, you're listening to the Racing Statistics channel here, wherever you're watching. And this is Grash once again providing you coverage, live action coverage of third practice. Max slow in practice means he's going to get P1. I mean, Max is only P5. He was top of the board earlier. Yeah, this is the third practice. Paulie will be in about afterwards, plus 2 hours and 45 minutes specifically. We should be back about 8:50, if my time is correct, about 8:15 ish, before Well, 45 minutes before quality starts, we should be back, and then I'll be coming on air just before um, Q1 starts. Illegal McLarens versus F2 simple cars reality. No, those are not illegal. The fact that you're saying that doesn't mean you don't understand what's going on. Norris. So Norris is P2, Hamilton P3, Stroll P4, Hulkenberg P5. They've all improved in their time. Norris is only 32,000 behind. Hamilton is 768,000 behind. Stroll is 912 behind. Hulkenberg is 109 behind. Clerk is now out. We don't have his tire just yet. The Max is seventh with 1.2 back, but that was a few laps ago. He's coming about across the line. He improves in his time, but not in position. Just a slight improvement, 1.246 in time gap. He does a 116.162 time, which is a slight improvement, but not enough to move up on the grid. The only ones in the pit right now is Oscar, Gasly, and Colapino. We should see them out. Expect them to be out in a few minutes. Mackey saying Pask is okayish. Would cheer for him on behalf of RL. I mean, he is leading the championship. That's more than just okayish, I guess. Russell just went up to P5, Borello to P6, though they are respectively 0.924 back and 1.062 back. Effectively about a second off the pace that Oscar set. Yeah, Oscar and Norris. Again, this is McLaren in the best car right now. Antonelli is fourth. We have a yellow flag, and it's Isaac. Isaac Zara stopped on track. This could be a red flag. And I don't know. Isaac has only spun. So Isaac is moving. That is another red flag denial for me, second day in a row. I joke. Under 11 minutes to go in this session. We just had Isaac spin. And F1 TV hasn't shown what has happened. Play of Russell. Russell's getting a little squirrely off one of the apexes. Click P3, 115.315. He is 0.399, so 4/10 behind Oscar. Showing what happened to Isaac now. He goes over curbs, and he loses the back end of the car. The smoke really is more basically is the tires basically going all over the place. Bierman goes P11. He's faster than Max's best lap is a 1.211 gap. It's a 116, 127, and it's about 35 thousandths difference between Max and Bierman. Yeah, that's a 0.035 difference between Bierman over Max. What's the chance of tomorrow starting late like Spot again? Slim. It's possible. Depends on the rain. It really will depend on the rain. We're gonna have to keep an eye. I'll probably have to keep an eye on F2, F3 in the morning with their races to see if it's raining. Norris on a pit out right now. We've got several people out now. Not a full track, but good number. let's say about 12, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was off by one. It was close. Yeah, Max is P14, but he's been in the pits for a while, and other people have gone faster than him. He was P1 at the point. The time that you see with Max was his P1 time. Oh, God's angry. Master's an idiot. Oh boy, that's going to show up in the. Where do you see the stats? The stats are right here, dude. They're part of the stream. Function one means why can't I get 175 points? Because it's YouTube's wacky system. Looking right now, Colpino is the only one pushing at the moment. He's going to come to the line. He's going to go up to P14 with 116.480, which is basically 1.5 off of. Why is Archon angry? I'm not sure why. It's someone in YouTube chat pointed out that over the radio, he was angry at Oscar. Norix, is Red Book cooked? No, Red Book's not cooked. Yeah, Max has been in the pits for about 10, for at least 10 minutes now. Again, he set a P1 time with the time that he has right now. He hasn't come out onto track in a while. Yeah. Most of the data you're seeing, Sonaka, is multi-viewer. It's a track that I don't know where we're getting from. And that's something that the boss can put into chat. If you at him, he'll answer. And it might be in our description as well. So Watson jumping up to P13 with 116.371. He's 1.4 off of Oscar's pace. Guys are saying something happened with Lawson. Russell's cooking. Albin's cooking. Antonelli's cooking. Hamilton might be cooking. Is it Russell? Where's Russell? Russell's not cooking. He's sort of, but he's not improving in his times. He does a 115.9. His best lap was a 115.84. So almost a tenth off. Albin's up to 16th. He's 116.5. What are they cooking? Dinner. Pirelli tires. Yeah, guys, nothing's wrong with nothing's wrong with Max. Max has just been in the pits, and so other people have set times ahead of him. I mean, if this were quality, we would be concerned, but it's practice. Is Raymond having problems? Again, we're under 3 minutes to go in this session. Got Colpino, Sonoda, and Isaac coming out of the pits. Alcon's pitting. Can we just go to quali already? Give it 3 minutes and another 2.5 hours. Yeah, everyone's on soft tires right now. Used soft tires, so they've come into the pits or came out of the pits on the tires they've already used. No one is improving on their times right now. We've got minutes and 20 seconds left to go. We're about that 2 minute warning mark. Matt Nick saying that Max is playing possum, waiting until quality, he'll blow us out of the water. Damn, he's good. I mean, he was P1 earlier in the session. The time that he had was a P1 about 25 minutes ago. And we are under 2 minutes now to go. As this session comes to an end, I doesn't look anyone is pushing as we get to 145. Again, this is Race Statistics channel right here with Grash with live coverage. What's the point of free practice anyway? Setup, data generating. I mean, they're looking at tire degradation with some of the runs they're doing. Colpino might be pushing. I thought Sainz might. Sainz not really. He's on a fast lap, but he's not improving on his times. Colpino has improved in Sector 1. He's the only one right now pushing at the moment. Particularly for the rookie drivers, practice is important because it's going to help them acclimate to the track and learn the track better. Want to thank everyone who's shown up in Twitch, everyone who's shown up in YouTube. Again, over 2,631 right now watching. 30 seconds to go in this session. Again, this race channel, and this is Grash with you. It's been our coverage from Free Practice 3. I know Max is in 12th, but he was P1 earlier. The big surprise maybe Aston Martin looking Stroll looking consistent, Alonso looking better than he did yesterday. Antonelli is beating Russell. They're 5th and 8th in Mercedes. The stake team 9th and 10th is probably surprising. Again, with timeout, we've got several cars coming out. Ooh, that. See if Russell got out in time. I think he did. Max is not joining Merck next year. That's been reported on. He will be staying at Red Bull for 2026. Now it's 2027 is the question. Yeah. So they're going around right now. They're going to do practice starts. This is going to be our coverage for practice 3. Again, our top of the board is Oscar, Norris, Leclerc, Hamilton's 4th, Antonelli's 5th, Alonso 6th, Stroll 7th, Russell 8th, Barrel 9th, Hulkenberg 10th. Cameron was 11th, and Max came in 12th. Again, for everyone, we'll be back in about 2 hours ish. And then just before Q1 starts, I'll be back on air for quali. Again, everyone here at the Race Ticket channel, thank you for the thanks and likes. telling us that we're doing a good job. We appreciate that. We will see you for quali. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.